Hi guys, and welcome to my podcast, TaterTot Makes. My name is Autumn, and I am coming to you from southern Idaho, where it is very cold and very windy today, as per normal Idaho, at least southern Idaho weather. It's always windy. I hope you can't hear the wind because it is howling out there. Anyway, my name is Autumn, and thank you for coming to my very first episode. I've been wanting to do this for years, and I finally worked up the courage to do it. I got a, Sony camera for Christmas, and so now I don't have an excuse as to why I'm not recording, because now I have the technology to do so. So here we go. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. And I promise the more I do this, I will get better. But I just want to reach out and build a community with you guys, a knitty, crochet, yarny community. I am a self-taught knitter. I taught myself in 2015 while I was in college at Montana State University. I was all alone in my dorm, and I've always wanted to knit, but no one in my family knew how to knit, and I didn't know anybody who knew how to knit. So I just watched a YouTube video, and in the middle of, I think it was November, trudged through the snow of Montana to a Michael's and got some yarn and needles, and I had no idea what I was doing, but it stuck, and I've been doing it ever since. And it has probably changed my life more than I care to admit. Anyway, so I've been rambling for about 2 minutes now, and I'm just going to get into the knitting, and maybe we'll have a little bit of chit chat at the end. So I put my coffee down. So first things first, I have brought all of my projects, even the languishing ones, because I'm hoping that maybe by talking about it with you guys, it will re-spark some love in these projects, and maybe I can get some progress done on them. So let's do this. First up, in my cute little chocolate chip mint ice cream bag by the Yarn Parlor, I have my Hermione's Everyday Socks by Erica Luder. And here we go. The yarn is fully spun sock yarn in the Ice Dreamer colorway. And you can see I'm past the heel. It is the Hermione's Everyday sock pattern. That's the back. Super fun gradient. I just needed something with some color that I didn't have to change yarn for. I'll show you the skein itself. They're not going to be 100% matchy skein or socks, but that's okay. They'll be fraternal sisters. So yeah, I'm probably about halfway done with the foot on the first sock, and then I'll cast on the second one. When I first started knitting socks, I used to do them 2 at a time, but because I was afraid of getting second sock syndrome. However, I found that I wasn't working on them as much because it was taking so much time, because I'm a very slow knitter, to get through them. And I liked being able to whip through one sock and feel like, oh, I'm halfway finished. And then I can cast on the second sock. What was I going to say? So that's what I've been doing. I've never gotten second sock syndrome to date, knock on wood. But that's how they're all being knit right now. This is Chowgu needles in US size 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter. This is my standard sock size. I knit all socks on size 1, unless I've stated otherwise. My go-to sock knitting needles are Chowgu, Addy Sock Rockets, and Higher Sharps. I'm really loving Chowgu right now though. I love this red cord. There is absolutely zero join. Nothing sticks here where the cord meets the needles. Yes, they are a little pricey, but the experience that I get with knitting with these is so worth it. And I've never had any break on me. I've never had cables come undone. So worth the investment. Anyway, so maybe this will be a finished object next time. Drop that on the floor there. Okay, up next is my Christmas Eve cast on. This is a tradition that Danny of Little Bobbins started, and I thought it was such a cool tradition that I just was like, I want to do that too. So every Christmas Eve she does a special cast on that's normally a sock. That's what she works on that day. Kind of a treat to herself, getting through the holidays and stuff. So that's what I've been doing. So here was my Christmas Eve cast on. Get the needles out of the way. This is Gingerbread House by Stranded Dye Works, Jude of Stranded Dye Works. And I've done the London Bee Ridge pattern by Nina Phillip of the Knitting Expat Designs and Podcast. That's how it looks in the stockinette. I've done stockinette on the back, but the London Bee Ridge pattern, and it's kind of blowing out. Focus on the front. I did do a contrast heel because this yarn is in sport weight. I believe it's 100% merino sport weight yarn. So I'm pretty rough on my socks, so I decided to do a contrasting heel and toe in a sport weight merino nylon blend to hopefully, because that's where I wear through my socks the most, is in the heels and the toes. So hopefully they will last. If I start to notice that they are getting more wear or getting more worn out because I'm wearing them in my shoes, I will probably just tuck them away for house socks that I can wear just around the house and keep them alive longer. So here's the yarn. It is so beautiful. Jude does an amazing job. That's Gingerbread House. And then this is the contrast heel and toe yarn, which is Cascade Heritage 6 in Como Blue. I was trying to go for that same kind of green that's speckled in the Gingerbread House. And I ordered this one online, and it came out more tealy blue, which is okay. I think they complement each other. It's not a perfect match, but hey ho. So there is that one. The next project is, sorry, I'm just gonna take a drink of my coffee. I haven't talked this long. It's already been 10 minutes. I didn't think I was gonna get through 2 minutes. But this is easier than I thought it was gonna be. I don't know why I didn't sleep all night about this. Okay, so next project is a mystery project / surprise project. It's a baby blanket for my very, very good friend Brianna, who is also my coworker. So I don't think she's gonna watch this, but Brianna, if you do watch this, please, please, please look away. I'll tell you when to look back, but please don't look, because I really want this to be a surprise. So this is a baby blanket, and I am holding, well, the pattern is the Easy Peasy Blanket by Madeline Tosh, and it's my go-to baby blanket. I love it. You start out at the tip, and then you just increase until you get to the width that you want, and then you just start decreasing. So you do a triangle, and then you just increase it until it's a square. I love it. It's easy. I can just do it without thinking. Great Netflix and knitting. So the yarn is Hobby Cotton King Sultan Deluxe in the Rainbow Jewel colorway. I really should have kept all of the labels for these. I will do better, I promise. So it's a gradient that it gradients all by itself. So you start out with this purple, and then you get some purple and blue, then you get a little more blue with the purple, little less purple, and now, I don't know if you can see, I've just started where the blue, you can't see, I'll show you in the skein. The blue starts to fade into a green. So here is the next, God, that's so beautiful. The next skein I'm working on. So it comes as one big skein, all of the colors, but I wanted to hold the yarn double. So what I did was I wound them on my ball winder to withholding the double so that I could just pull from one cake. I wouldn't have to pull from two. So, but it got too big for my ball winder, so I had to split it into 3 cakes. So the purple to blue was the first cake, which I finished. And then the next cake is the blue to yellow, blue to green to yellow. And then I did bring the final cake, and it's the yellow to the orange. So it's gonna be like a beautiful rainbow gradient. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And I'm so excited. I hope that she's loves it as much as I have loved working on it. So yeah. Brianna, you can look now. I promise I won't show it again. Oh, I just showed it again. Don't look. Okay, moving on. The next thing is a project that I started, I think this last spring, but it was kind of a cheeky cast on where I shouldn't have been working on it, and then I put a lot of work onto it, and then I got distracted by something else. So it's been languishing a little bit, but I really want it finished. I want to wear it at least once before it gets too warm, since we are in January. So I should probably just bring the whole basket. It just lives in this cute basket in my yarn room. So this is my very first sweater. And it's a bit tangled here. This is my No Frills sweater by Petite Knit. And the yarn is Knit Picks Kindred DK Weight in the cargo colorway. And it's a marled, like olive green with maybe a cream. It's a merino cotton blend, I believe. And it is so soft. So soft, so cute. You can see I've done the short rows here so that the back of the neck is a little higher than the front. I've split for the sleeves. My sleeves are on some Knitting Barber, the Knitting Barber tubes that hold your live stitches until you're ready. And I am working on the body. I don't have very much yarn left in my last skein. This looks atrocious because I'm sure the kitty cat got into this. And I think I'm going to finish this little bit on the body and then start new skeins on the sleeves. Get the sleeves done because this is how much yarn I have. I'm sure I'm gonna have enough, but I have a very long torso, so I want to make sure, and I like my sleeves long. I like them to go like mid palm. So I want to make sure that those are the way I want them first, and then knit the torso until I run out of yarn, or until it fits the way I want it to. If I have more than enough yarn, then I'll just stop when it's long enough, but I just don't want to run out of yarn and not have my sleeves be longer than, or be too short, because I hate sleeves that are like here. even this sleeve that I've got over my watch is kind of bothering me. Like I want them like this, not like this. So anyway, that's my very first sweater that I will put some work on. Maybe I'll do that today after I do some stuff in my shop, which I will tell you about at the end. I do have an Etsy shop, but I'll touch base on that later. Okay, so now for the really languishing whips. These are big projects that I love and I go back to every once in a while. The one I really want to be finished like now, because it's been on the needles since 2020, 2019 maybe. So here we go. This is my northeasterly blanket, which is actually a gift for someone very, very special in my life. I don't want to say because she might be watching. And she's probably the most knit-worthy person in my entire life, if not top 3. So this is huge, guys. Look at it. It is so far 10 columns long. I just started the 11th there on the end with the little DPN cozy on it. This is meant to be the size of a queen size bed. I'm halfway done. There's going to be 20 columns in all. And I do love working on it. I love seeing it grow. I love the color combinations. I think that she's going to love them too. And I made a map so I never got the colors in the wrong order, but I left it on my other table, so I'll have to show it to you next time maybe. But the yarn is, did I say what the pattern was? This is Northeasterly by Skenanigans, and the yarn is Knit Pick Stroll in, let's see, the pink. This hot pink is Pucker, this gray is Dove Heather, and this bluey green is Patina. I probably will not show it every time I podcast unless I've done a significant amount of progress on it. So yeah, it is massive. It weighs so much and there's still so much yarn left in this basket. But I will get it done and it's going to be gorgeous. Next is my very first Northeasterly blanket that I started for myself, and then when I got the grand idea to do one as a gift, I put this one away and I haven't touched it since, because if I feel like working on a Northeasterly, I work on the one that is a gift. But this one is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. And the other thing that is stopping me is one of my cats got into the basket where I was keeping the project and all the yarn and took my beautiful cakes of yarn and pulled from the middle and the outside. So I have 3 cakes of yarn that are absolutely murdered, and it's gonna take some patience and some love and some time to get those wound by hand so that I can start working on this again. Anyway, I'm going to show you. This is Northeasterly by Skenanigans again, and the yarn is Destination Yarn in a Game of Thrones collection. I absolutely love Game of Thrones. I love House of the Dragon. I know lots of people didn't like the season finale of Game of Thrones. I'm not too picky. I'm just glad it had an ending. My husband and I talk about this all the time. But anyway, Game of Thrones, love it. And each yarn is based on a place of Game of Thrones. So you have like Valyria, the Iron Throne, the Red Keep, Winterfell, yada yada yada. So I was doing one chevron in each of the colors, kind of in a gradient, and just kind of repeating that up and up and up and up. I guess maybe it would have been easier to show you this way. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 columns are done. I think it's supposed to be 14 or 15 columns. I don't remember. But as soon as this the gift northeasterly is done, I am going to work on this bad boy because it's beautiful and I want it in my craft room, in my sewing room, to just lay over my legs when it's chilly in here or throw over the back of my chair. The only problem with that is the kitties. So I'll figure that out when that time comes. But anyway, those are all of my works in progress. I do not have any finished objects. I did recently just finish 2 baby blankets and 2 pair of baby booties for my cousin who had twins recently. They are so cute. But they are all wrapped up in boxes next to me that I need to give them. So I'm not going to tear them up just to show you. If you're interested in seeing those, I did post about them on my Instagram and also my Ravelry page. I will link both of those down here somewhere. I guess I never mentioned where you can find me. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook as TaterTot Makes. It's Tater_Tot_ Makes. As well as Ravelry as TaterTot Makes. I did create a Ravelry thread in Ravelry that I think I'll put like a little intro forum into, and if you're watching this, if you want to introduce yourself, that would be so much fun. If you don't use Ravelry for whatever reason, because I know a lot of people have some issues with their new design, just pop your introduction in the comments below. I will be reading everything, and yeah, I'm just excited to be here. And I can't believe I've made it 23 minutes because I was very scared about doing this. So, next up, we're going to do some Yarny acquisitions, which I only have one. I bought this in December and I was going to cast it on as a Christmas gift, but never got around to it. Mom, if you're watching, please, please, please don't look. I hope you're not watching this though, because a lot of the things I make are for you. So, anyway, here it is. This is Up North Yarns in the colorway The Bears, and it's 100% merino, DK weight, 100 grams, 246 yards. There is her label. Oh, she put a little stitch marker on there. That's so cute. I never realized that. They're dyed in Michigan. This is, I'm assuming, based off of the Chicago Bears football team. We are not a Chicago Bears football team family, but we are a Boise State University family, and these are perfect BSU colors. And my mom is obsessed. So I think she needs a really thick, comfy, squishy DK weight pair of socks to wear while she watches the games. It's so gorgeous. Look at those speckles. Look at those speckles. So that's my one and only acquisition. I don't know if there will be a lot of acquisitions on this podcast, only because I have a huge yarn stash. I'm looking at the cupboard behind the camera. And I want to work through it. It's beautiful. I was digging through some of the yarn while I was doing 25 days of knitting on my Instagram, and I forgot about how many beautiful skeins of yarn I have in there and why I bought them and the projects that I want to make with them. So I want to really try in 2024 to work through a lot of my stash. In order to do that though, I need to take it all out of that cupboard and organize it in some fashion that is not what it is now. I used to have a rhyme or reason where everything went, and then I just started putting yarn where it fit. So it's a mess. It needs a good organizing, and I will do that one day. Not today, but anyway, so that's everything I have as far as the knitting content, but I did want to maybe talk a little bit about my shop. I have a Etsy shop called TaterTot Makes, and I sell handmade project bags and DPN cozies. I've thought about doing some notions pouches. I have some really great ideas to do some sock size knitting project bags and crochet. When I say knitting project bags, I also include crochet. Crochet is beautiful and I think it is so gorgeous. I just can't do it. I have tried and my hands don't know how to work with one hook versus 2 needles. Maybe one day I'll give it a shot again, but just to put it out there, I'm not saying knitting is superior to crochet. Knitting is just what I always call my bags because I'm a knitter, but they work for crocheters as well. I have one here, so hang on just a moment. This is one of them. This is what I'm keeping my rainbow blanket in. But they're huge and I'm really happy with it. It took me a long time to get the courage to open an Etsy shop, and I opened it in July of 2022, and the first year was really rough. Last year, 23, was awesome. I saw so many people using my bags and engaging with me on Etsy, on Instagram. You guys are awesome. Totally awesome. Thank you so much for supporting my little dream and for being so kind and so receiving of what I put out in the world. And I just want to say thank you. But I have some really, really fun ideas that I can't wait to show you guys coming in the new year. I'm waiting for a fabric order, hopefully to come today, fingers crossed. And yeah, so as I have things that will be going in the shop, I will be showing them on the podcast in kind of a shop update section. But if you're interested, I will link the Etsy shop below, either in the description box below, or if I can figure out how to do a link on here. Yeah. Okay, so now we're in kind of the life admin section of the podcast, and I just wanted to kind of give you who I am besides the knitter. My name is Autumn. I live in southern Idaho with my husband and our 2 dogs and 2 cats. We don't have human children, but our dogs are Sage and Hera, and our cats are Nori and Poppy. I shut the door in my craft room because I didn't want the cats to knock over the camera, and the dogs are out there just taking a nap and have no idea what I'm doing in here. They don't care. But they are the loves of my life. I don't know what I would do without them. They keep me sane and crazy at the same time, but I'm sure they will have to make a little cameo on the podcast at some point. I work as a municipal treasurer for my local city, and that's my day job. It can be stressful, it can be exciting, it can be the most fun I've ever had. But it doesn't scratch the artist itch that I have in me. So that's why I created the Etsy shop and why I'm doing this podcast, because I love my job, but this is like a whole nother universe to me that I am so excited to be a part of. And yeah, so that's what I do. We're pretty boring though, other than that. And I can't think of anything else to say. So I made it a whole half hour of recording. I am going to celebrate that win. I did get an order on my Etsy shop, so I'm gonna go pack that and get that to the post office. And anyway, if you guys want to comment below or engage with me on Instagram, Facebook, Ravelry, I would love to hear from all of you. And I hope you have a great weekend.